Hello everyone, Waxo here. Look, I'll be honest with all of you, I'm very late to the game when it comes to covering SplitGate. I'm sure most of you have heard about this one by now, seeing how it's been everywhere from games journalist websites, Twitter feeds, other YouTube videos, and just about anywhere else you can find gaming news and content. So with that in mind, I'll keep this video short and to the point as to just what SplitGate from 1047 Games is all about. SplitGate is the latest free-to-play arena FPS that has been consistently deemed Halo meets Portal. And well, when you look at the gameplay, you can see just how. Not only are characters modeled after the famous Spartans of the Halo franchise, there's literally a 3-round burst rifle named the BR for those underestimating just how brazenly they wear their inspirations on their sleeves here. Aside from the heavy Halo inspiration, the team of 25 developers for this one have said that their biggest influence for SplitGate is the entirety of the arena shooter genre itself, and that shows very clearly. Having had missed the popularity of the arena shooter due to, well, being too young for it, if you look at Quake and Unreal from the bygone era and see them in action in comparison to SplitGate, it becomes incredibly apparent just how much influence they have here. Though it does play closer to modern shooters with regenerating health as opposed to health and armor pickups, and exchanges of fast-paced walk speed for a sprint, a big feature it does replicate is the encouragement of verticality, which here isn't in the form of jump pads and rocket jumps, but through your ability to place portals at specified areas on the map. More on that when we get to gameplay though, which is now. Gameplay here is just about what you would expect from hearing of what has inspired SplitGate. General pacing is slower than what you may expect from something like Call of Duty, and weightier as well. Instead of custom classes, you have starter weapons that vary depending on game mode, and each map has multiple regular and power weapons placed throughout. Those weapons range from precision-based sniper and carbine rifles, an incredibly strong shotgun, the battle rifle I mentioned earlier, a plasma rifle that just melts, an SMG, an instant-killing baseball bat, rocket launcher, and railgun, which both often leave those on the business end of it very dead. Throughout my time with SplitGate, I can honestly say that I've had very few complaints. The gunplay here is slick and responsive, though admittedly clunky on a controller without tweaking the presence. And though I eventually did find a sweet spot when tweaking controls, I do find myself preferring mouse and keyboard as someone who mostly uses the former. And of course we must talk about the portals. Portals in SplitGate work by placing an entry and exit point on specially textured areas. You can only use one of the two colors at a time, meaning that once you put down a blue, you have to put down an orange in order to complete it. By shooting another blue, the blue entry you placed prior disappears. Once you've navigated through a portal, you can either choose to keep it open, retreating back to the closest entry whenever needed, close them in order to prevent a bold enough enemy from following through with you, or just place one of the colors on another nearby surface to make a speedy getaway. You can also look and shoot through portals as a means of either locking down an area from passing opponents, or just to keep an eye out. Note that you can only see through your own portals, as team and enemy ones will have a barrier blocking your visibility. You can still shoot and move through them though. Portals are what really sets SplitGate apart from the rest of the current FPS market. Not only do they allow for brilliant map traversal thanks to the momentum-based physics that can literally send you flying from one end to the other, but when placed and used strategically, become a whole other factor to consider in terms for both yourself, your team, and the opponent. Game modes offer quite a bit of variety here, as there are 10 base modes, plus 2 featured ones that rotate out after a few days, as well as ranked for those seeking something more competitive. Personally, I found myself drawn to Team Deathmatch, Oddball, SWAT, Shoddy Snipers, and Takedown, which is a first to 4 round base mode that sees you trying to eliminate the other team. With each death, your time between spawns gets longer and longer, leaving your team more vulnerable to being eliminated. And though these are all fine, the issue that I have is that there isn't anything particularly unique about them, since most are ripped straight from other popular FPS. The only exception I can think of are races, but those are more so meant to help you get a feel for the game's mobility. I am optimistic that down the line the devs might add different modes that help define the game as something a little more unique than the counterparts that it's emulating, but for now it just seems like they're playing it a bit too safe. The last one I want to talk about is cosmetics and monetization. When it comes to weapon cosmetics, the game has a base amount of skins that you can earn simply by completing challenges and milestones. Other means of customization, however, from your character, jetpack, oddball, portal gun, and portals themselves, come through either supply drops, the battle pass, or in-game store. Though drops are given within the first 10 ranks, after completing all weekly objectives and login bonuses, I gotta say I'm not a big fan of the absence of any earnable ones via challenges like with weapons. And when it comes to the shop, things get a bit on the pricey side. I totally understand with this being a free-to-play game that there's gonna be microtransactions, and the fact that it's exclusively the battle pass and cosmetics is a great thing. It's just some of the prices on the bundles are a bit ridiculous right now. All items in the store require the premium split coin currency, which stays close to the US dollar value, with 100 being $1 and 1000 being 10. So far, the lowest for a weapon and armor skin are 500 and 800 respectively, with the highest for either being 1200. For bundles, the lowest price I saw was 1600 split coins, while the most expensive was 4900. And look, I get that there's 5 skins that come in this pack, 3 for weapons, a character, and a jetpack, but $50 for 5 skins? That's getting rather close to the Valorant pricing model, not to mention practically being the majority cost for a brand new AAA title. The store is definitely going to be something to keep an eye on in terms of pricing, but hopefully it doesn't get outright egregious. All in all, after my time with SplitGate for this impressions, it's easy to see just how this game's gotten popular to the point that it surpassed its original 65,000 player server limit. It's a well-polished FPS that's easy to get into that one more match mentality with, even if the package is largely derivative of the great FPS before it. It's the portals that help SplitGate stand out somewhat in its space, adding an extra gameplay layer that will no doubt be just mind-bending once mastered by the dedicated. Really, my only major complaint falls on future monetization, which, though yeah is solely cosmetic, still shouldn't see itself getting too carried away. I definitely do suggest trying out SplitGate to scratch that new FPS itch before the AAA season rolls in. With the final version's release now up in the air as the developer tries to upgrade their servers, the SplitGate beta will continue on until its full release and is currently available for PC, PS4, Xbox One, PS5, and Xbox Series via backwards compatibility, all of which support crossplay. This has been Waxo, and until next time, take it easy.